Hello again and welcome back to What's in Store Fridays here at historic Brattonsville, and the weather's getting a little chilly. The holidays are coming up and I'm going to show you today how to make a door swag, and we're also going to do a little cocktail for you. So we're calling this session a swig and a swag. What you want to do is go out and you're hunting and gathering. We're going to make this a real natural. You want to go out and get a few branches of cedar, magnolia, some pine. You just want to mix up your greens, and then gather some elements like the pine cones. We're going to use lemons because that's really natural. They used to use them in colonial days a lot, the lemons. You'll need about 4 yards of ribbon. Just get a nice pretty bright ribbon. And since we're in the land of cotton, we're going to use a couple sprigs of cotton. I did pull some of these nandina berries from my backyard. They're not native to South Carolina, but they do produce a nice bright red berry. So any elements that you have around the house, out in the yard, will work fine. The main thing is we're just going to wire everything. So you can pretty much wire anything you find that you want to put in your swag. Okay, so let's get started. First you want to take cedar. We're going to build the base. So I like to use like 2 or 3. It's nice to have one that's sort of long and pointy for your center one. Got nice flowing, and this is pretty much making the frame. Take a piece of pine. Let's see, the textures are great. And then the showpiece would be this magnolia whorl. Want that a little bit higher. Okay. So that's pretty much your base. The chenille wire, and you can just wrap it really tight. As tight as you can. Give it a really good twist and just squeeze those stems tight together. You can also use this as your hanger. Okay, so now that you've got your base done, you just want to add some of the nice interesting elements that you've collected, like the pine cones or the berries. So for pine cones, what you want to do is just take a piece of wire. Careful, because they'll stick you a little bit if you don't watch it. And just catch it under the little leaf sections there and just wire it all the way around. And then leave a piece of wire out. So then you take that, and all you gotta do is catch it anywhere on one of the branches and just give it a twist. You just want them to hang down naturally, like that. Okay, same thing with the nandina berries. You just want to catch it with a wire and wrap it around and leave a stem. And once again, lift up the magnolia and find a piece of pine branch and just give it a twist. You'll see the berries and the pine cones. I love it because it adds so much texture. Okay, so for a pop of bright color, I'm just going to add a couple cotton stems in here. Same thing, I've wired them. But the main thing is you want a lot of different textures, like the shininess of the magnolia, the roughness of the pine cones, the softness of the cotton. This is just very traditional looking, especially for the area. Our last element before we put a bow in, just take lemons. Small lemons would work really good. So just keep the wire really straight and push it through. Halfway, bring it up. Give it a good twist, because you're going to be hanging it straight down. Alright, so for the last element, we're going to put a bow on this. So just get a bow that sort of matches everything. I've got some of the white from the cotton, some of the red from the berries, but you're going to need about 4 yards. So you don't really need a yardstick. If you just do this is a yard. So you've got one. Pull out a loop that way, bring it back to your thumb, and twist. Your thumb stays inside the little hole there. Make another loop, bring it back and twist, and every time you make a loop, just make it a little bigger than the last. And don't worry if it's not perfect, we're going to fluff it out and it will look beautiful. So just a little bigger, give it a twist. Each time you come back to your thumb, give it a twist, because you want the pretty side of the ribbon showing. So I usually do about 4 or 5 loops. Sometimes you have 4 on one side, 5 on the other. It doesn't really matter. And then the last one, just leave it there. Leave it down. And then that piece you cut off, just put it right up underneath. So this way you're going to end up with 3 little tails showing. Take a piece of chenille or wire, run it straight through, fold the bow, and see how I've turned it over, and just put your index finger in the middle and give it a really good twist a couple times. You want it really snug. So then once you have that, you want to pull the first bow up, second one down, just go back and forth, pull all your tails to the front, up, down, and there you have a tailored bow. And that's your door swag for the holidays. And look at all the nice natural elements. Okay, so you're going to need 6 ounces of the bourbon or whiskey. Always good to rub the lemons, get that juice built up, and then just squeeze, catch the seeds. But you'll need about 3 or 4 ounces of the lemon juice. And then last night I made a simple syrup, which is just equal parts sugar, equal parts water. So I used a cup of sugar, a cup of water. You boil it, then you let it cool down, make sure all the sugar is dissolved, and you've got simple syrup. So we're going to put in 1 ounce of the simple syrup. But you can use this syrup for your mint juleps. So it's just those 3 ingredients. Add some ice. Put your lid on. Give it a good shake until it gets nice and frosty. And that nice citrusy smell is a great complement to the lemons that you put in your swag. You can tie it all together. Alright, so then we'll just put a little garnish on there. I usually just cut up use a little orange slice or have some tangerines. Put your little squeeze there. And there you have it, the classic whiskey sour. Okay, so before we leave, I did want to show you this cardinal tray. It's a nice big round tray, has a big lip on it, nice handles. This will hold all your cocktails for the holiday, but that's a nice winter scene on there. We have this and other trays on our online store at chmuseums.myshopify.com. And we hope you have a good holiday, and we'll see you next time on What's in Store Fridays.